Connie had just been at her lover Paul's apartment when Edward suddenly appeared downstairs. Connie had no idea that her husband's business trip was just a sham. He had gone deliberately to capture concrete proof of his deception. Even upon seeing Edward, Paul's face showed neither shame nor nervousness. A slight, sardonic smile lingered in his eyes. To him, Connie was merely a physical relationship, a relationship in which both fulfilled their own needs. He never truly loved Connie, nor did he respect her husband. Edward's visits were an open secret to him, one he didn't even try to hide. Did she like all this? Paul said, I don't think she ever complained. In response to Edward's questions, Paul began to recount every detail of their relationship with a cool, even casual encounter. But every word she said was tearing Edward's heart deep within. Edward kept trying to compose himself, but when his eyes fell on the messy bed sheets in Paul's bedroom, his patience seemed to break. He felt Connie's presence in those folds. Then his eyes fell on another object, the crystal globe he had once lovingly gifted to Connie, the same object that was kept in Paul's room. Edward asked, How did it get here? Paul said, I don't know. Maybe she wanted to buy something for me. Edward said, She didn't buy it. I gave it to Connie. Edward could no longer bear it. The gift he had kept his true love in had been so easily given away by his wife to someone else. In a fit of rage and shattered pride, he picked up the same crystal globe and smashed it hard on Paul's head. Paul couldn't believe until the last moment that the seemingly calm and composed Edward could do such a thing. Shock remained frozen in his eyes, and he died on the spot. After regaining consciousness, Edward composed himself. He removed all evidence, wrapped Paul's body in a carpet, and threw it in the garbage. He thought everything was over, and he could return to his life. But the next morning, sanitation workers found the body. The police began an investigation, and Connie's name emerged among those with whom Paul had the most contact. When the police questioned Connie, she remained remarkably calm. There was no sign of panic on her face. Even experienced officers were unable to discern anything from her. Time passed, and the case gradually cooled down. It was over. Connie returned to her normal life. One day, as she was putting Edward's clothes away for laundry, an old photo of her and Paul fell out of his pocket. At that moment, she understood. Edward knew everything. Her silence for so long was just an act. Now she was convinced that Edward was behind Paul's death. Crying, she asked her husband, Did Paul die because of you? Edward angrily replied, I know you, and I hate you. I didn't want to kill him. I wanted to kill you. Pain and hatred filled every word. Connie was devastated. She realized that her one decision had ruined 3 lives. The next day, she gathered all the photos of her with Paul and burned them in the fireplace. She thought this might help her cover up her husband's crime and save the home. But Edward was suffocating inside. Remorse and fear kept him from living in peace. Finally, one day, he got into the car with his wife and son and stopped in front of the police station. The traffic signal turned green, and at that very moment, their lives were about to change forever.